Bills, and I want to welcome you to the Live a Life Without Limits video summit. If you're looking to build your business and have more freedom and adventure in your life, then you're in the right place. Because today we're talking to Natalie Sisson all about how to basically have a business and travel anywhere you want to go in the world and have that freedom lifestyle. Natalie is also known as the suitcase entrepreneur because she literally lives and travels around the world out of her suitcase. So Natalie, I want to welcome you and I want to thank you so much for spending some time with us. And before we get too far, I know that you've got a new project you're working on, that the $100 Change Initiative. Just real quick, because I think people will be really interested. Tell me a little bit about what that is.
I would love to. So essentially, I'm always about helping more entrepreneurs just like you to live a better life, to have more freedom and adventure in it, and to really just get started on that dream that they've maybe put away for just too long. So the $100 Change Initiative is all about how can you take $100 change and turn it into a project, a business, or something that you've always wanted to do. So how do you get started? How do you make an impact? And essentially, I'm going to be providing 100 days of inspiration from 100 change makers for $100, and that $100 is going to be reinvested back into 10 scholarships for entrepreneurs that apply with some crazy cool idea, whatever it may be that they've always wanted to do, and they get the chance to basically, with that investment, be able to do something so much bigger and more audacious than they ever could. So it's very much a non-profit based thing. It's all about giving back, and I'm really excited to have 100 change makers giving their kind of ideas on what you can do with $100, how to create change in life, and it's such a neat initiative. It's really energizing, and I think it's going to work really well if everybody in the community buys into it. So I'm really excited about it.
I think it's a cool project, so we had to get that out there. So I want to, again, welcome you. And then tell me, so we kind of got that out there so people know and they can connect with you on that, because I just think that's so cool. But let's tell them a little bit about you now. So tell me a little bit about you and why you decided to be an entrepreneur, and how the heck did you get started in this lifestyle where you're literally living out of a suitcase?
I would love to, it is quite unique, isn't it? I would love to say that I had it all worked out, but I really didn't. I knew after being in the corporate world for about 10 years that I was just sick and tired of not so much the people I was working with, but the bureaucracy, the limits, the regulations, and all these things that I just didn't think really made sense to me. And I really wanted to do my own thing. But as you probably know, starting your own business or initiative is damn scary. It really takes a lot of guts and courage, and I think we need to celebrate entrepreneurs a lot more for what they bring to this world. And I was lucky enough to leave London, England, where I was. I just bought a house. I got a great raise in this wonderful job, and I decided to throw it all in to go to Canada to play ultimate frisbee and to start my own business. So most people thought I was crazy, and maybe I was, but I found my business partner there, and we started a technology company. We built a Facebook application, actually, so a payments application, which was like building a house on quicksand. And it gave me around 1.5 to 2 years of just understanding the world of entrepreneurship, the tech scene, which is very fast moving, how to find investors, what a business model looked like, how to do customer testing, how to develop a product. Just so many things that you learn being thrown at the deep end. Worked hundreds of hours, slaved away on this sort of passion of ours. And while I was doing that, I started a blog for women entrepreneurs talking about my journey, but also using it as a platform to be able to interview women that I really admired. So even though I had, like 3 readers, I'd go out and say, I have this blog platform with hundreds of women who would love to hear from you about how you got started on your own business and what advice you have. And it was pretty clear maybe about 6 months in after starting that I loved it more than the business that I'd started. And my business partner also acknowledged that and said, this thing just lights your fire and you should turn it into a business. So I had absolutely no idea how to do that. And 6 months later, I somehow had a blog, and I had my first product for sale, and have just really taken it from there. And that was also about the time that I started traveling. And then the theme became, well, I want more freedom. I set up this online business, this blog, these products, in order to be able to do it from anywhere. And I started getting asked a lot more by my small but growing community how I did that, what tools I used, what it was like on the road, how I managed that, the time zones, all those things. So that's essentially when I turned the blog that I had into Suitcase Entrepreneur, rebranded, and everything kind of fitted after that. It all made sense to me about what my purpose was and what I could help people with.
Yeah, and what your little niche was, where you fit in.
It was like brand name just came to me at a conference and everybody was like, that's what you are, you're a suitcase entrepreneur. And I was like, perfect.
I love to travel, so this is perfect for me. I love to travel. I love to go kind of into a little bit more remote areas because we love to scuba dive. And so you're always kind of looking for this little bit, uncharted spot to go to. So how do I make sure that my business is portable so that I can take it and be gone and do that?
Definitely, and it's a great question. I think a lot of people need to think about the type of business model that they're going to start, because obviously you can't take a retail store and move it all online. You can move a lot of it online, but you're still going to need your base. But there are a lot of businesses and types of models that work really well: consulting, coaching, copywriting, web design, those kind of things that you can do via Skype, via emails. So those are wonderful to be able to take online, and all you need is your laptop and a smartphone and a Wi-Fi connection. But also it's good to think about the type of, I actually take a step back from that and think about, well, what's my ideal lifestyle? And for me, it's being able to choose the hours that I work from where I want, when I want, and be able to do that from anywhere. And also to have some form of passive income over active income, because obviously you don't want to be working from an island in Greece, but always having to be on the computer talking to your clients. So you do want to think about types of revenue stream that you can have that will allow you to earn money literally while you sleep, even though there's so much sort of floozy annotations that go with that. With an online business, you can be earning when you're sleeping. People are in different time zones. They're buying your products and your services. So really important to think about the type of lifestyle you want, how much you want to work, and the kinds of revenues that you'd like to earn from your business. And then you can look at what you're really good at doing and work back from there as to what is going to work for you.
So you're really starting with thinking about what kind of lifestyle you want and what kind of business will fit into that lifestyle.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think people do that enough. They're all like, oh, I'd love to do what you do. But when I say to them, sorry, the phone ringing. When I say to them that you can do that, do you want me to get that? I don't even have a phone normally. It's in this apartment that I'm renting right now. Hopefully it'll go away. People are often, well, actually, I guess I could do that. I could just go off and travel. I could pack up my life into a suitcase. I could take my consulting or coaching or writing business online and do it from anywhere. So at the time, they often don't think that it's even possible. And I think it's also because they don't really want that lifestyle. It's they want to have a home, they want to have their comforts, they love their friends and family and being around all the people that they've grown up with. So often people think they want a certain lifestyle, but until they really realize what's possible, they don't consider changing it. So yeah, I think it's really important to think about what your ideal lifestyle is.
And we talk about it kind of like, okay, so this is a suitcase lifestyle, but it's really a freedom lifestyle, isn't it? It's like if you're, like you said, if you want to be at home, but you still want the freedom to be able to, spend time doing kids' activities or doing, other things that require you to have flexibility in your schedule, then this is the kind of lifestyle that fits into that, right?
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. And for some people, this is not their ideal lifestyle at all. Some people probably think the thought of living out of a suitcase is the worst thing in the world. But for me, I love it. I love the minimalist lifestyle. I love having only a few things. I'm all about paying for experiences over buying stuff. And for me, I feel the absolute ultimate in freedom.
Yeah.
But I get that other people might want to just work from home. That might then be really freeing, or work from a cafe, or be able to stop work at 2 and play with their kids, or be able to take a 5-day weekend. It's whatever you think freedom is and how it fits around your life.
Okay, so first step is figuring out your lifestyle and how your business fits into it. So step number 2, what do I have to do next? What tools do I actually need in order to make my business more flexible or more portable?
Yeah, I love this topic as well because I'm a big fan of using online tools, trying out new ones and seeing what works. And I've definitely pulled back over the years in terms of trying everything, and I've come up with a very simple system of what works for me. So one tip I would definitely give is to just work with what you enjoy working with. Don't crowd yourself with all sorts of tools that you never log into again, and really get it down to kind of 4 or 5 key tools that you absolutely need to run your business. So aside from a laptop and or a smartphone, I think the critical tools are around communication. So for example, Skype, you can have a landline on it, you can have a registered phone number, You can record videos, audios, do video calls with clients, just all sorts of things, flexibility of being able to reach people. And you can also use it for free for anywhere around the world. So that's lovely to think about. My second favorite tool is Dropbox. It's an online cloud storage solution, and in a nutshell, it protects my business with all my critical documents, files, photos, digital products. Everything is stored online, synced with my computer and phone. So if I ever lose any of those, it's still in the cloud. I can still access it. And I just love that security and peace of knowledge. Peace of mind, sorry, and the knowledge that everything's secure. So I love Dropbox and the fact that it's so syncable and it's free for a certain amount of storage. So we like free and we like easy to use. Gmail, obviously I'm a big Gmail fan, but I love Gmail offline. There's a lot of times that if you do choose to have more freedom in your life, you might not be online. So being able to access your email, reply to them, respond to them, in an offline environment is really critical, and I think I often get a lot more work done that way because there's not things coming in and you can reply to the most important emails. And it's simple, it's free. Once again, you can just download it onto your laptop, and I think that's been an absolute lifesaver for me, especially when I'm in airports or trains and planes and there's no Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple of, because I know inbox management is something that so many people struggle with, and as your business gains popularity, you'll get more emails and more people wanting to contact you, and it can get a little bit overwhelming. So aside from my tips that I'm happy to give around, just like taking back control of your inbox, I think it's important to have a couple of apps. One is called Boomerang, which has saved my inbox life. It allows you to send messages when you want at an appropriate time. So even if you're replying to somebody instantly, you can send it 2 hours later when they're most likely to receive it. It also allows you to boomerang an email away and have it come back to you when you want to look at it. So often you get non-critical emails in your inbox. You can just send it away to look at it in a week's time, 2 hours' time, a day's time, a month's time, when it's appropriate for you. And that's really changed my inbox life.
Okay.
And the final one there would be something called Rapportive, Rapportive. I love it. It takes away the ads in the side box of your Gmail inbox, and it replaces it with really rich information about the person who's emailing you.
Oh, okay.
So you get a lot of emails from complete strangers, and it's lovely to see, what their name is, a photo of them, their website, their title, if they're on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and actually be able to kind of see real time who this person is that you're connecting with. And it's really allowed me, with the amount of people that email me through my blog and reach out, to make better decisions about who's worth my time, who I can email back, who I want to stay connected with. So those are some of the super fun tools that I absolutely love and probably use more than anything.
Okay, I've never heard of that, or I've never used that Rapportive. So
it's really fun. I love it. And it's free.
Oh,
again.
Good. I'll have to check that one out. So do you have, it's like you said, when you're gone, a lot of times you don't have access, or you want to schedule your access when you want it. So do you have people that you're using that will help you on a regular basis, that are kind of filtering through stuff for you, or, that you're using regularly to maintain your lifestyle, or no?
Yeah, and it's taken a little bit of time to build up a great team. So if my one piece of advice is, don't get stressed out if you can't find the perfect person. It does take time to build up that team of people you trust and can take over projects. So I have a virtual assistant who does around 10 hours a week for me, deals with a lot of my contact form related emails, and filters them out and directs them to the right places and gives them answers and feedback, and sends only on the critical ones to me that I need to know about. I still love receiving all my personal emails from people who read the blog or want to get in touch, but when it comes to guest posts or advertising opportunities or just other inquiries, that's a big load off my mind. In addition, she does great things like, blog formatting, optimizing for SEO. So dealing with a lot of that, because even though you may enjoy doing those things, they do take up a lot more of time for you, and maybe it's not the best use of your time. And also just in general, administrative projects, sometimes formatting my newsletters for me, making sure affiliates are all fine, just dealing with some customer inquiries. So that's been fantastic for freeing up time so I can really work on the bigger stuff and the important stuff that I do well, and let Margaret do that because she's super at what she does. And I also have finally hired a WordPress tech whiz. Even though I'm pretty tech savvy, it's just lovely to be able to have somebody do templates for you, fix bugs, errors, plugins, just do that because they love doing that and they're much faster at it. And that's wonderful. It's a retainer-based contract that I have with this guy, and he's always online and he's always accessible, and that's been brilliant. So that's part of my team. I have somebody who edits my podcast for me, does the initial write-up and all the audio optimizing, so that's wonderful. And I also have another lady who just works with me on project-by-project basis regarding ebook design, infographics, etc. So that's kind of my design editorial person. And some of these are full-time and others are just kind of ad hoc, but always with a certain amount of hours each week. And I just like the freedom it gives me to be able to focus in on the other things that I need to do.
So you have a pretty good size group of people that help support you in this lifestyle. How did you find them, and how long did it take for you to kind of build this team up?
Yeah, it took a while actually, because a lot of these people have come on in the last year. And just to let you know, I found they're also incredibly affordable. I love to pay people what they're worth, but it's such a competitive market out there right now. There's people in all sorts of different parts of the world who are super talented, and their going rate compared to, for example, that in North America is really competitive for them and gives them a great standard of living. It seems very, very affordable for us. So I say when you're starting out, you definitely pay for what you get, but you can actually, you don't have to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to have great staff on your team. And if you treat them right accordingly and train them and mentor them, it's wonderful how you can keep them on board. So that's just one thing. I've actually found people through Twitter, through referrals on LinkedIn, and through Elance. Elance and Odesk are two outsourcing or crowdsourcing sites, and they have amazing candidates from all over the world that you can really specify what their language skills are like, their experience, their specific skills in the project that you're hiring them for. You can set the budget, the amount of time you want them working on. So it's all very much within your control. And there's just hundreds of people who are vying for those jobs. So that's how I reach out and find contractors. And from there, I kind of test them and give them certain projects to work on. And if they do a great job, then I give them more flexibility, more responsibility. So yeah, it's funny. Social media has been a big one for me. Just asking, sometimes even within your community. I know several people who post jobs on their own website or put it out in their newsletter and say, this is the kind of person I'm looking for. And often there's somebody in your community or within your circle of friends or colleagues that knows somebody who's the perfect fit for your job. It's just asking and also knowing what you want out of a person. And it does take time. As I said, it's probably taken a year for me to get the right people. I cycled through quite a few virtual assistants that just didn't quite work out for me, personality-wise or time-wise or commitment-wise. And you also need to get your expectations right, not expect the world from people. Entrepreneurs have a lot of trouble in letting go and not controlling everything and being perfectionists. So you have to be really realistic about letting these people take over things and giving them the chance to step up and really own it.
That was one of my biggest struggles, was letting go. It's like, okay, they can do it. You can let go, because if you don't let go, then you don't get the lifestyle.
Yeah, it's really, really true. There's lots of things that I've slowly given over, and then I've looked back a couple of months later and gone, what was I thinking? Why was I doing that for so long? What a waste of my time, and this person's so much better at it. So yeah, it seems tough, but you've just got to do it, and then you'll love it. You'll be like, oh, I've got more time to do the great things that I love.
Yeah, and it sounds expensive, doesn't it, Natalie, when you start to talk about outsourcing? But the reality is without outsourcing, it's hard to grow your business, isn't it?
Yeah, I started off probably one of those cheapskates that was, not in a terrible way. I love to invest where it's due, but when you are starting, you don't often have a budget, and I certainly didn't. So I was trying to do everything myself, and it really takes guts to go, you know what, I earned $1,000 in my business this month, but I'm going to invest $800 of that back into people so that I can grow my business even more. And the thing is, every single time you invest those dollars back into your business, every single time you invest more into quality people, quality design, professional output, it pays you back tenfold. So it's just getting over that hump of being kind of, I would say, cheap or fearful of letting go of that money and really putting it into the right places and into the right people, and your business will grow. You just have to trust in that. Because as we all know, you pay for what you get, right? Yeah. So if you want more clients, if you want to earn more, if you want bigger launches and you want more revenue, you actually have to spend the money to get the money.
Do you have a favorite outsourcing site or a few sites that you use, that you kind of are your go-to places to start looking, or no?
Definitely. I think 99 Designs is a great site for logo design and website design. You get skilled designers, graphic artists on there who do great quality work. They also get paid well for it. But, for around $99 to $200, you can get some fantastic logos, and websites are anywhere from sort of $300 up to $1,000 or more. But realistically, you get beautiful designs, people bid for your work, and you get to see a whole lot of different creatives, and then you get to choose the best outcome and go back and forth with them. So I love that, because you do get to see your vision for your brand being established through other people's eyes. Then I love elance.com and odes.com. They're very similar. They both offer a range of people who are contractors and freelancers who are proficient in anywhere from research through project management, email marketing, copywriting, web design, coding. You name it, you want it, it's on there. And as I said, you can set your budget. You can find virtual assistants from sort of $5 an hour. You can find great copywriters from $15 an hour. Web designs for $200, $300. So really, the sky's the limit. And they do make it very easy and intuitive to find the right people to work with. And even through to Fiverr.com, which is a great little site. We pay $5. Once again, you pay for what you get. But sometimes when you're starting out, an ebook cover design, a small audio or a video introduction, somebody who can just help you writing some content. I mean, it starts at $5, and it's just a great way to test the market, get some logo designs and see what you can find. So you don't have to spend crazy amounts of money, but you do have to invest the time in looking for the right people.
Yeah, I agree. And like you said, try them, and then let, if you don't like it, try someone else. It's a little bit of a testing the waters.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I know that you're a big social media user also. Like you said, you connect in with Twitter and ask Twitter, people on Twitter, hey, who are their favorite people? Is Twitter one of your favorite social media sites?
Definitely. I love it. And when I started, I think I was one of those people that I can probably hear on the video going, I just don't get Twitter. It's just such a waste of time. But it's amazing how it's just incredible as a tool for conversations, reaching out to brands and media, to connect with people in real time, ask questions, answer questions, get advice, give advice, share things. It's just incredible once you understand how to provide value on it and receive value back. And I obviously built my business on social media. I mean, a blog is a social media tool, and that's how I got started. Facebook, both as a personal profile and my page, have definitely probably the second biggest driver of traffic to my website. Twitter is one of the first. I love LinkedIn for the professional aspect of it, talking on groups, answering business questions, finding new leads, getting testimonials, just reaching out to the right people. And YouTube, of course, video is huge, and it's amazing that you can connect with people so well through video and really get a message across to a huge audience. So each of these tools is amazing in its own right, but really at the end of the day, where I think people go wrong on social media is they try to be everywhere and anywhere rather than where their customers are. So that's my biggest piece of advice, is go where your customers are, just focus on one or two tools, master them first, understand how to use them properly, conduct proper social media etiquette of giving and sharing and not spamming and selling all the time, and you'll start to see real great results.
I think that's true. One of the best pieces of advice that I think that you said, and you kind of skimmed over it really quickly, is to start with one and really learn it first, because so many people, I think so many times we can get so overwhelmed and we think about building our business that we have to know everything all at once. And so overwhelm becomes such a big problem. But when you start with one tool at a time and give yourself time to learn that tool before you move on to another, tool, I think is such a huge, piece of advice.
Yeah, I agree. And, it takes a while to learn that as well. There's no harm in being on a few sites, but it's so much better if you invest your time and focus, as we know, onto one or two key tools and really see how they work first and whether you're getting the results. And then you can switch it up later if you're not seeing that, or if you feel like adding in another tool into your armory. So, yeah, I love social media, but you've just got to do it right and be strategic about it and have goals.
Yes, I agree. Do you use automation for your social media, like for Twitter or anything like that? Or
I don't use a lot of automation. What I do use is a plugin on my blog called Tweet Old Posts, which I love because it goes back through my archives of my close to 400 blog posts and pulls them out and tweets it out for me. So I love that because people find old content which is still relevant. And that's automated but very handy. I use Hootsuite. It's a social media dashboard. You probably use it too. I love it. You can post to your LinkedIn profile, your page, your Facebook page, your personal profile on Facebook, multiple Twitter accounts, YouTube, everywhere, but you can do it at your own time and your own pace. You can schedule them out to go out at the right time. You can reply to people from there, look at keyword search. So it's pretty much one place where I consume a lot of my content, and really it helps me to just eliminate the noise and focus in on the key people that I want to be following, responding to, interacting with. And I love that it's an all-encompassing dashboard that I can really monitor and control what I'm putting out and see what's coming in. So it's not automated, but it really helps in terms of scheduling and creating lists and things like that.
Yeah, it makes it much easier, doesn't it? Because it kind of combines your different sites and you can see them all at once instead of going in and out, in and out. So I think it's a big time saver.
It's a huge time saver. I love it.
Yes. What do you think has been your biggest obstacle in, making your lifestyle portable like it is? What has been the biggest obstacle in achieving that?
Good question. Probably me. I think we're the people who get in our way, right? So anything is possible. It's just how you set it up. It definitely hasn't been people's attitudes. People either love the idea or they think you're crazy, but I've never let that stop me before. It's just been really thinking about my barriers to freedom. How portable do I want my life to be? Where do I want to travel to next? What's my tolerance for change and adaptability? Are the countries and the cultures that I'm experiencing working for me? Are they creating more freedom in my life, or are they actually adding more stress? So a lot of people look at it as a glamorous lifestyle, and 95% of the time I'd say it's fantastic and I love it and I feel like the luckiest person. But there's definitely times when you just feel like unpacking, settling, stopping in one place that you love, staying around the friends that you've just made. And it can be extraordinarily tiring if you're not used to it. Luckily, I get energy from meeting new people and being in different places, but it's a challenge. So the day that I stop wanting to be challenged or dealing with different time zones and infrastructure, then I may slow down my travel. But I think at the end of the day, it's your propensity for change and adventure. That's the only thing that's been stopping me. And I don't think it's really stopped me. I've just gone a bit crazier as I've gone along. So, yeah.
How frequently do you pack up and go to a new spot? How long are you staying in the spot you're in now?
This month is the longest I've been in a long time. It's a month in Amsterdam. Before that, this year has been crazy. I cycled through Africa and went through 7 or 8 different countries in 2 months. And then when I came to Europe, I just was like 3 days here, 4 days there. Same in North America. So for the last 3 or 4 months, it's been crazy, which is why I really wanted a month in one place. Next month, I'll be in Germany and Italy. And then I'm actually coming back to the Netherlands to stay for 3 whole months, which is pretty exciting. So it's not normally that kind of hectic or transient. I think the ideal is somewhere between 1 to 6 months in one place, because it does take you a while to get used to it, to understand the culture, to really discover the key parts of the city or the place that you're in. And also you start to make friends and connections, and that's very valuable. But I don't ever like to stay too long when I start feeling settled and I'm in too much of a routine, because I think that's when you lose the challenge and you become a little complacent. But that's just me. That's me personally. I like the change.
Yeah. So you're cycling through Africa this past year. Yeah. And are you literally carrying your computer and stuff with you and going from spot to spot?
Kind of. I actually, I knew that it would be very, very difficult to get Wi-Fi access or to be able to work while you're cycling 100 plus kilometers a day. So this is where my systems and my tools came into place. I did a lot of work beforehand. I worked with my virtual assistant. With my coaching clients, I prepped them before that I wouldn't be talking to them for 2 months. I had responders on my email to let people know about it. I had several blog posts lined up in a row. I'd done my launches beforehand. So almost everything was either automated or handled in some way through the tools and the systems that I had and the team that I'd built. And for the first 3 weeks, I didn't even actually get online or open my laptop, which was huge for me, huge disconnect. And, it didn't even really matter. Nothing fell over in that 3 weeks. I didn't lose clients and customers. I actually made sales and had more interest. My traffic on my website didn't dip that much. My social media community definitely dropped a little, but it wasn't, life-threatening. So I think that was a really great learning curve for me, to see that my business was capable of running, that I'd set it up enough that it could manage on its own. And the great thing about it was that I just checked in every week whenever I could get online, and just really looked at the critical things. And it really brought home to me how much extra stuff I was doing that wasn't really necessary or business building. So it was very clear when I got back into it. I had so much enthusiasm, but I also knew what I could cut out as non-critical tasks that I was handling. So that was, I actually advise it to a lot of people to sometimes just disconnect completely and really step back and look at what they're doing and see whether it's necessary and it is actually bringing you joy and profit and all those good things.
So you basically set everything up so that people not only knew that you were going to be out of, commission or whatever, you were going to be disconnected for those few weeks. But you also set up automated things. So if I want to go and I want to dive, and be gone somewhere for 3 weeks where internet connection is just not good, as long as I'm setting everything up, I've got my emails, everything all automated and stuff, I'm not going to see much difference or change in my business.
Yeah, I think that's true if you have a business that is more passive based, so people can buy digital products or programs from you. If you're a service-based business and it's all revolving around you, like you're the coach, you're the consultant, you're the expert, then that will be a little bit more challenging, but it's just, once again, a matter of letting your clients and customers know. And most people really respect it, especially for me. Suitcase Entrepreneur kind of comes with the territory. If I wasn't off having an adventure, people wouldn't think I'm living my lifestyle. But there is a certain amount of stuff that you can do in advance, just letting people know. And having a kind of good systems, good customer service systems in place, and also a team that you trust in to do things while you're away and keep the business, cooking and going along really well. So it's all a matter of testing and having some great systems in place. And nothing is that critical that things are going to fall over. That's one thing I definitely learned.
Yeah, that's true. So many times it's really appreciating the fact that it just because you don't connect in doesn't mean that the world will fall apart.
Yeah, well, that you're going to fall off the face of the earth into oblivion. People might wonder where you are, but it's not critical. When you pop back online, they're like, oh, there you are.
You're back. Yeah. All right. We have given a ton of information, a ton of tools and stuff that people can use to automate their sites and make them more portable. Natalie, do you feel like we can go back and kind of just recap what we've gone through? We started with basically really thinking about what kind of lifestyle fits you, and then being able to make sure that the business that you're building becomes something that fits into your lifestyle and not like a noose around your neck. Because I think that's so very important, that I can spend 2 years building a business and then go, oh, wait a minute, this isn't what I wanted. So I think that's a really important step. Or if I'm in a business and it's not what I want, that I can be able to then automate and get some things in there that make it more so that I do have what I want.
Exactly. And then once you have built this kind of business model around what you're wanting, then you want to work on streamlining it, making it more effective and efficient so you can step away from your business and not feel guilty. You can lead that lifestyle that you envisioned when you first set it up. So that's about using online tools, both paid and free, some great systems in place, just, being smarter about what you're doing, what work you can outsource, what you can document so that you could hand it over to a new team member when it came. And then using some of these crowd funding and crowd pooling sites where there's tons of talent out there that can do something a lot better than you, a lot faster and a lot cheaper. So it's all about then, streamlining, automating your business, setting it up for success, and investing back into it so you can grow and it can grow without you. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, you don't want to be the all-consuming part of your business. You want it to be able to thrive based on the great work that you've done. And
tell me again, because if I didn't have a pin, then I'm going to miss those tools. So tell me again, what tools we talked about, the Gmail and that kind of stuff, but what were some of the other tools that were some of your favorite tools that helped me to make it more automated and make it more portable?
For sure. So in terms of communication, you can't go wrong with Skype. It's a free application you can download to your laptop or your iPhone or your smartphone. Dropbox, which is a fantastic online cloud storage system. So rather than storing everything on your computer, you can store it in the cloud, safe and sound, so you can access it at any time from anywhere, even if you don't have your stuff with you. We talked about Gmail Offline, which is a free extension on Google Chrome that you can download and access your email at any time, offline, respond, reply, etc. And then within Gmail, if you are using it, you can use Boomerang and Reportive for just making your time in your inbox much more pleasant, streamlined, and efficient. And I actually have a list of tools that I run my business with on my site at suitcaseentrepreneur.com/tools. It's not all of them, it's not extensive because I do have a digital guide, but it's some of the key tools that I use and some of the ones that I've referred to now. So that's free and you can look at it and you can probably find some other cool tools that might be relevant to your business.
Oh, good. So that will help too in case I'm not sure, sometimes it's hard to, when somebody's writing down Fiverr or something, if you don't know what Fiverr is, then, that's kind of, it's like, well, how do I spell that? And,
Exactly. And yeah, so you touched on those. So the other ones were odesk.com and elance.com, Fiverr, which you said, Fiverr.com, and 99designs.com.
Yeah.
I mean, there's tons of competitors out there, but I think those are some of the key ones that a lot of people use and have great recommendations and testimonials. So it's good to stick with things that people use and love.
Yes, I agree. A lot of those are very popular ones that a lot of people are using. And my mind is blank. What's the mommy one? I like that one too.
The which one?
The mommies.
Oh yeah, Hire My Mom.
Hire My Mom. I like that one too. That is another great one.
Yeah, that is a good one. I've heard lots of good things about that. Mums, stay-at-home, work-at-home mums who also are fantastic, have had great careers and still want to keep their hand in it. So they do all sorts of work for you as well. Really neat service. And the other one I mentioned was Hootsuite, which is a social media dashboard. Really saves you a lot of time and energy and gets you focused in on the right social media activities to work on.
All right. Thank you so much. Is there anything else that you would like to add that that you think that would be helpful for us?
I think just for all those people out there listening who are dreaming of a better life or running a fantastic business, just start. There's so many people who I talk to who say, someday, one day, if I only could, if I ever had. And I always just ask them and say, well, what's stopping you from... Actually, I say, when would now be a good time to start? Because it's just... I really hate seeing people's passions and dreams fade away because they didn't just make a start. So that's my biggest piece of advice. Go and share your gifts with the world and start it today.
Very good. I want to thank you so much for all your information, all the great tools and everything. And like you said, if you want more tools, that it's on your site so that people can get all that information, because I think that building a business that fits your lifestyle, even if you don't want a suitcase to live out of, but it gives you the flexibility that so many people want when they're becoming entrepreneurs. I think those tools are all great.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for having me here as well.
Thank you, Natalie. All righty, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.